Time for our next bit of Aparoksh Anubhuti. Today I am taking Shlok 34. You can follow in the text if you have it. Yasmat paramiti shrutya taya purusha lakshanam vinirnitam vishuddhena katham syadeha puman. Bhagwan translates Bhagwan's verse translated into English. The men of wisdom have established the nature of Purush by declaring that there is nothing higher than the Purush. Then how can this body be the self? So generally, when we say the word self, or we say the word I, we normally refer to our body, our mind, our intellect, this equipment which we use. By saying, I am a woman, I am a man, I'm a mother, father, or we use the word self, myself, yourself, indicating all our different roles that we play in our life. But in Vedanta, when we talk about self with a capital S, or when we say I, we refer to our true nature, which is Atma. So most people get confused by this capital S self and the small s self, or the I. Are we talking about the body? Are we talking about the Atma? So there is a confusion between the two. We all know our true nature is I, the capital S, Atma. But we generally, when we say I or self, we are referring to our sansaric life. More importantly, we will get confused. We will get confused because we know the difference between these two. But there are so many people who don't even know that there is any other meaning for I, or there is another meaning for the word self with the capital S. We are fortunate because we have been introduced to this concept of self with small s, self with capital S, and thanks to the men of wisdom who have taught this to us. So Bhagwan refers to the men of wisdom in this shloka. So who are these men of wisdom? They are the rishis. They are the spiritual scientists who used to experiment with all the truths, with their body, with their mind, with their intellect. In their meditation, they would contemplate and they discovered the truth behind this entire equipment. And then after discovering the truth, they shared it with their disciples, with their shishyas, experimented with that truth, and then shared it with all of us through the Vedas. So they said that this body is not the ultimate truth. What is higher than this body is what we call Purush. And in this shloka, the word Purush is used. So what is Purush? In Hindi, when we say Purush, we mean man, male gender, and Stri is woman. But in Vedanta, Purush has a completely different meaning. It means pure consciousness. It stands for the divine principle of the universe. So in the Upanishads, the rishis declared this truth and emphasized that, we should see beyond the body, beyond the mind, beyond the intellect. And they used many, many different ways of explaining this very important truth to us. So in these 5 shlokas, which start with today's shloka 34, Bhagwan Adi Shankaracharya is referring to the different lakshans that the Vedas, the Upanishads have given to us to understand this truth that How can this body be the self? To understand that there is something more than the body, and that is the self. So in today's Shlok 34, Bhagwan refers to the Shvetashvatar Upanishad, which declares there is nothing higher than Purush or pure consciousness. There is nothing higher than Purush or pure consciousness. So we, in our avidya, in our ignorance of the truth, we have considered, humans have considered, there is nothing higher than the human body, mind, intellect. Compared to all living beings, all creatures, man is the highest thing that there is in this university, in this universe. We pride ourselves on our body, all the things that our mind can do, and we think we are the masters of this universe. But what the rishis have clearly told us is there is something higher than this body equipment, and that thing which is higher is Purush. They have said there is nothing higher than Purush or pure consciousness. Because of our ignorance, and also because of this equipment that we have been given, blessed with, we have done many discoveries, we have done many inventions. Man has gone to the moon, man has gone to the depths of the ocean. We have done so many fabulous, discoveries, and we think that we should take the entire credit for all this fabulous work that this BMI can produce. But we need to understand that there is something higher than this BMI that is empowering this BMI to do all this. And that is the lesson we need to learn from this particular shloka, that there is something higher. The very presence of Purush in our equipment enables, empowers this body, mind, intellect equipment to do whatever it has been doing so far. Without the presence of Purush, we would just be a corpse. We would not be able to lift a finger or blink an eye. And therefore, Bhagwan says in this slok, how can this body be the self, which is the highest element that enables this body to move? Going ahead in Shlok 35, Bhagwan also quotes from Purush Sukta of the Rig Veda. And in that Purush Sukta, the rishis say only Purush exists. Not only that there is something higher than the body, and that higher thing is Purush. In Purusha Sukta, the rishis categorically state only Purush exists. Whatever we see in this manifest world is just a superimposition on that divine universal principle. See, when you go to a movie, there's a screen, and on that screen is superimposed the film that you see. Is the film real? No. As soon as the film finishes, that picture, whatever you saw that evoked so many sentiments and emotions in you that you completely bought into, all that is closed, finished, over. Movie is over. But what remained is the screen, the substratum on which the movie was shown. In the same way, we have talked a lot about the example of snake that we see in the rope when there is darkness. We talk about the silver that we see in the shell. But when we go near, we see it's a simple shell. There is no silver there. Or we assume that there is an oasis in the desert because of the play of light. But when we go there, it's just sand. Like that, because of our ignorance, because of our avidya, we don't know that all that we see in the world, including this fantastic equipment of BMI, is just a superimposition on the substratum, which is Purush. Therefore, Bhagavan says, how can this body be that highest supreme self? In Shlok 36 and 37 also, Bhagavan quotes from the Brihad Aranyak Upanishad. There he gives 3 lakshans of Purush. The first lakshan he gives is Purush is asango, not attached to anything. See, Purush remains completely detached, completely the same, whether we are sleeping, whether this body is sleeping, whether this body is awake, or this body is in a dream state. Whatever this Purush is, this Atma is, it simply enlivens this body in all the 3 states of consciousness. Now imagine if you have a dream that you had an accident, and God forbid in that accident you broke your leg. In the dream it will feel very real, but when you'll wake up in the waking state, you'll see, there's nothing wrong, my leg is perfectly intact. That was just a dream. So in the waking state, you are not attached to that dream. In the same way, even in the waking state, if you were to, God forbid, have an accident, and you were, God forbid, to break your leg, the Purush, the Atma, remains unattached to whatever is happening in the body. It remains intact. Therefore, this body, which can have changes in it, cannot be that highest self with a capital S. Then Bhagavan says, Purush is pure. Purush is complete. Purush does not need to have anything more. It is already complete. Why does the body need something more and more? Why is it that the body is not complete? Because it is filled with vasanas. We have desire over desire, and we are continuously feeling incomplete. And why has Bhagavan added pure with complete? Because we are filled with desires that makes us incomplete, and that thing which makes us want to have more and more is called vasana, and that is the impurity that we carry with us from lifetime to lifetime. Who is carrying? The body-mind equipment is carrying, not Atma. Atma is Shuddha, Nitya Shuddha, always pure. Therefore, how can this body, with all its impurities of vasanas, be that highest self? Purush, the pure one, the complete one, is the higher self. And then Bhagavan says Purush is self-effulgent. Self-effulgent means it needs no other light. It is light itself. The body will need a light to be perceived. Even a lamp will need another light to be perceived. But the Atma doesn't need any light. It is the light by which the body can be seen. And for all these 3 reasons, in the Brihadaranya Upanishad, Bhagavan quotes these 3 examples to show us, to drive home the point that the body is not the self. How can it be the self when it has no light, when it has so many vasanas and impurities, when it is so incomplete, and when it is attached, it is not a sangam. And finally, in Shlok 38, Bhagwan shows the ridiculousness of anyone who were to think that this self is the highest, higher than any other idea, concept, or belief. And he uses Karmakand to show us this ridiculousness. So according to Karmakand, it says that during your lifetime, you should do a lot of good karma, you should do yagnas, you should practice rituals, you should be established in dharma. Then what will happen at the time of death? You will accumulate enough punya, good brownie points, so that you can go to Swarga, heaven, enjoy the sukhs over there, and then you'll come back to earth to finish the job for which you were given human body, and that is liberation. So who will go to Swarga? Subtle body, right? What will happen to the gross body? It's going to be destroyed, right? It's going to be burned to ashes. It's going to be buried, maybe eaten by worms, eaten by birds. So this body cannot be that supreme self. For that very reason, the body has been destroyed. So therefore, Bhagwan says, how can this body, which is destroyed at death, be the self? And this is the beautiful message that Bhagwan Adi Shankaracharya has given to us in these 5 shlokas from 34 to 38 in Aparoksh Anubhuti. So remember these 6 pointers, 6 lakshans, and remember, you are not the body, you are the highest self, you are Purush, and this body has to bow down to that highest principle within us, within everyone, and which is the only thing that there is in this universe. More on these beautiful insights next Thursday. Asatoma Sadgamaya Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya Mrityurma Amritam Gamaya. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om. Shri Guru Pyo Namaha. Hari Om. Chidarpanam. Jai Gurudev. Thank you all for joining. Thank you, Ashish, for chanting. God bless Zoom team. Thank you, everyone.